everybody, and welcome to an honorable wild ride with Steve-O. I'm here at Tight Box Packing, now home of the Steve-O bobblehead doll. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Get your bobblehead doll at steveo.com with your yeah dude baseball tees and everything else. It's so exciting. And why is this week's episode so honorable? Well, because there's a running theme throughout the episode about being man enough to admit when you're wrong. And, there's something that it's pretty rare about that. It's pretty awesome about that. And we talk about it in a lot of different contexts. So this one's really special, man. I do genuinely love it. And man, Corey Taylor, he let us know that he talked about stuff that he's never talked about publicly. So get ready for a lot of special stuff. And let's get into it. There,
How you doing, Buzz?
Super stoked.
Okay, yeah, man, stoked.
What are you promoting?
My second solo album's coming out September 15th.
Cool.
And then we got some tour dates. August 25th to October 7th, some shit like that. I don't know.
Cool,
what
man.
it is.
Epic.
Okay.
Dude, that clock does not do a good job of staying fucking
CMF2.
That's right. Because I'm super original with names.
Yeah. Preceded by CMF
T.
all right.
Let me just. It's hot out there. You've been doing press all morning, huh?
Dude, I've been doing press for the last 2 days, man. Like, I flew in yesterday morning and just hit the fucking ground hauling ass. I did, actually, Bert Kreischer said to say hi.
All right.
We did Something's Burning. It was me and
Nice.
Gavin Rosdale. We did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Cool.
It was so weird.
It's a
We're
weird mix.
sitting there and he's butchering fish and chips and we're just like looking at it. It was fucking hilarious, dude.
Do you want a water?
Let's keep that
No,
in.
I'm okay. I'm okay right now, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's keep that in and say, ladies and gentlemen, Corey Taylor.
Yeah.
He's back.
I
from
am
Zoom.
back. Finally in person, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super rad, man. So where to begin, dude? Like,
Oh, Jesus. Where'd we leave off? I mean,
yeah.
You were about to go on tour. It was going to be like a socially distanced tour last time
yeah,
we saw
that's
you.
right, man. Dude, I think we were the first ones to go on the road. Like, we were the kind of the test subjects. It was like, let's see if they fucking crash and burn, dude. And dude, we had a blast, man. I mean, it was really weird because it was all those pods, you know? Like, they would sell like a group of tickets at a table, and then because you couldn't test people legally, you couldn't test people before they came in, but you could do temperature checks and shit. And they said as long as you bought like a certain amount together, they could sit together, but then you had to wear a mask outside of like the circle. Like, dude, it was so weird, and yet we were just so stoked to play for people that we were like, fuck it, no, it's like playing a lab, why not, you know? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
That's so funny that you guys were just wearing masks anyway.
No, this wasn't even Slipknot. This was my solo
okay.
thing. So we're out there, dude. I'm like playing piano. It's like, it felt like a jazz club, dude.
Right.
It was weird, but
so there's just like little pods of.
yeah,
Like
man.
how many different pods in a room? How
It
big
would
was
be
the
like
venue?
they would only open up about 25% capacity, right? So they would mark out the pods like around the tables
Right.
and shit, and yeah, it was so weird, and yet we just loved playing that we're just like, fuck it, let's just get out there and see what happens. And then so the first time we did it was great, and then the second time we did it, I got COVID literally the last day of the tour, and I was supposed to be flying into a convention to do an appearance, right? So I'm in Denver at the hotel at the airport, and I wake up and I'm fucking dying. I mean, I'm like, I'd sweat through the bed. It was the worst I'd ever felt, and I was just like, well, and I hit up my head of security. I was like, you better bring me a test because this doesn't feel right. Sure enough, dude, and I spent a week in that place, dude, and
At the airport hotel?
at the airport hotel in good old Denver, Colorado. So I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. And it was brutal, dude. But I mean, I'm glad I was vaxxed because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
But I mean, it only lasted about 3 days, and then I was good to go.
Fuck. You were
Yeah.
in Denver when you got it flying into the WWE. Remember on
I was in St. Louis.
Oh, you're in
Oh
St. Louis.
shit.
Yeah, and I would never have known, but like in order to be where I was at, they had to test me.
Right.
And so the test said I was positive.
Oh.
I would have had no goddamn idea
Right.
otherwise.
Right. The second time I got it was like that. Like I was asymptomatic, but I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Yeah.
But my wife's family are older, so we're really careful with that shit, you know. So
Right.
yeah, it was like we're not gonna. We caught it at Christmas, so we were doing like a quarantine Christmas. My wife is up by the door to our bedroom, and we're throwing her gifts. It was so
Wow.
fucking weird.
that's
Got
weird.
that like bungee cord thing for like water
yeah,
balloons.
basically,
you know?
yeah. It was hard because I gave her a car that year, and she was like, so we had to follow her out like 10 feet behind so she could see it, and then we sent her right back to
Oh,
her.
wow.
You're behind like SWAT shields.
It was weird. It was like, you like it?
yeah.
You know, it's super weird.
And so that socially distanced tour
Yeah, man.
was your solo
Yeah,
band.
yeah. So then, by the time everything opened up, that's when we fired everything back up with the Knot, and that was 2.5 years ago. I mean,
Right.
so and we've been on the road for two years straight. Like, and we were working on The End So Far, which is our last album. While we were doing that, I was like, are we gonna take a minute to give people a reason to come back? And nope, fuck, we just charged right through. So it was crazy.
So you've been going straight through.
I've been working nonstop. Yeah, dude, I've been hauling ass.
And you were touring for CMFT.
We stopped on CMFT and then started doing. So I did some pickup stuff here and there.
Yeah.
With my solo stuff. For the most part, it's been hardcore like Slipknot stuff. So. This tour coming up that I'm doing August 25th, that's all solo stuff with one Slipknot show right in the middle to kind of fuck things up. you know?
Where's the Slipknot show?
At Blue Ridge.
And then how far away is it from
Oh
the venues?
shit, we were at Blue Ridge.
Yeah,
was
I'm
it-
actually doing Blue Ridge 2 days later with my solo thing. So I'm in 4 days. I'm doing solo, Slipknot, solo, day off. I'm like, I'm an idiot.
Dude, it was like right in the middle of COVID. I was crowd surfing at
At the music.
the Blue Ridge Music Festival.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that was a cool vibe, dude. That whole place.
Those people, I mean, we played it last year, and we weren't sure how it was going to go because it was dumping rain, and we hit the stage, dude, and this roar came up, and we were like, okay, we're gonna be all right. This is fucking awesome.
It was rad.
Great people, man. It was really cool.
Huge festival, and Scott's like been the most uptight about COVID,
Right.
And like we're traveling there together. We're like in a rental car together, and he's like, dude.
Well, because he has the idea that he wants to crowd surf, so he called Dr. Drew.
Oh,
and he's like,
shit.
hey, what are the chances? And he's like, well, I wouldn't advise you do that.
Right.
But we have it on camera, too, and like, he how many times did you crowd surf? You went up and back a couple different times.
Yeah, it was rad.
If I didn't get it this time, I'm about to fucking get it the next 6 times.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
How do you keep track of, like, remembering all those songs? Like, is it hard when you have all your albums that you're touring for, then you switch to a Slipknot? Like, do you have to sit in the hotel and like read what you say? And
Man, yes, good question. I luckily have not gone into like a different band's song during another band's set yet.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't gone completely fucking batshit, but I don't know, man. I compartmentalize pretty well, and when you're in the mask, that keeps you kind of in that moment. You know, like definitely
Yeah,
having the
that's-
mask on just keeps me in that headspace. So, I mean, if I ever go into a different song when I'm wearing the mask, you know where to check me in at that point.
That's
It's like,
funny.
yeah, we got to send him away.
Yeah.
He's starting to fucking lose it.
yeah, you ever been to a Grateful Dead show when Jerry fucks up the lyrics and everybody just cheers?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, there's like YouTube videos of him like.
I'm sure. Well, dude, I've had songs where like I'll start a song and then I'll just blank.
Yeah.
On the like, I'm just like,
What do you do? How do you play it
I
off?
just I'll laugh and I restart the song. I'm like, fuck. At that point, that's all you can do.
Sometimes that is the biggest cheer of the show, though. Like,
and it lets people know that they're in a moment, man.
Right.
There's so many fucking people either play at a track or they're not playing at all, and it's just a fucking mechanical motion for them, and there's no vibe, there's no heart to it.
Are you saying that there's people still doing Milli Vanilli type stuff?
Yes, I am. Now, the hip hop community gets a pass because largely what they'll do is they'll throw the track on and then they rhyme over the top of it. But you can hear the double track on that, so you know they're doing it, but they're actually singing it live, singing along to themselves. However, there are people in my genre who sing, not only have tons of Pro Tools going on, but they're not physically singing as well.
They're just
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, I remember I did Warped Tour years ago, and there were bands like that. And there was one band like Soundcheck, and they were like, "Fuck, we lost our laptop charger.
Yep.
Like, we don't know what to do." And then like a legit punk band was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, and they were asking like, "Do you want to have like a chord for a?" And they're like, "I have a guitar chord, I have a bass chord,
Right.
I don't have a computer
Yeah.
chord for you." Like,
I also have this ball sack because I do it myself.
yeah, exactly.
wow.
So
I'm
funny.
a fucking asshole though. Like I shouldn't do that because some friends I have use those, and they use them for a reason that's their piece, that's their truth. But there's no way, dude. Like I couldn't do it.
Of course.
When we were doing Stone Sour, and we put out the two concept albums, House of Golden Bones albums, we used track as filler for some of the tunes that we played. Obviously, all the guitars were real, the drums were real, vocals were real, bass was real, but we used track for some of the like orchestral stuff, right? And like some of like the connector pieces, because we were playing some of the stuff that would connect. And being a slave to that felt so stifling that I was like losing my I was like, we gotta get off this fucking shit. I hate being chained to a click. I hate being chained to something where I can't, because the part of the fun of live is the push and pull, man. Like you can tell when somebody's feeling it because the song's way fucking faster than the original, you know? Like they're just in it, or it's heavier, or they slow it way down. That to me is the epitome of live, man, because you're feeling it. Like they're in that fucking moment, and there's no denying that it's them playing it. And that to me, that's the beauty of playing live.
Who do you think's the best band live? Let me tell you something. A good rock band is just like a good razor. High quality, killer performance, and no gimmicks that just drive up the price for no reason, man. And that's why Harry's is the rock star of all shaving products, man. You got the 5-blade razor that is as good a quality as any razor in the world. No gimmicks. This is the only thing I shave my face with is my Harry's razors. And now get ready for an exciting offer from Harry's only for the listeners of the Wild Ride podcast. You got the Craft Handle Starter Set. This is a weighted ergonomic handle with these cool grips on it, and I'm telling you, it just feels good. Gotta have that. The 5-blade razor, the travel cover to protect the razor, the foaming shave gel. This whole starter kit is valued at $17, but the listeners of the Wild Ride podcast get it for only $10. So to snag this deal, go to harrys.com/Stevo. One more time, harrys.com/Stevo for the Craft Handle Starter Kit. And you got to jump on it now. Now, let's get back to it.
Oh, dude.
First one that comes to mind.
Alice in Chains.
Alice in
They're
Chains.
so fucking, I mean, Jerry, the whole band is amazing. And the way that Sean Kinney, the drummer, swings as he plays, because everything for them is naturally slower. And the things that they do to manipulate the riffs, because they're so sludgy anyway, but the way they lock in together is fucking unreal. Like they're so good that it's criminal. To this day, they're that good.
I was buddies with their manager, Chuck.
Oh yeah, Chuck Randall.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
man, great dude. Love
Yeah,
that
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a mentor to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, next time we talk to him, tell him I said hey.
Okay,
I
for
haven't
sure.
seen him in a minute. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And I remember Chuck inviting me to some big festival Alice in Chains was playing, as well as Tool. And
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm saying Tool is the best live.
Tool, I tell you what, Tool to me is an acquired taste because they're so dialed that it's almost like listening to the album. And that to me, as a punk kid growing up, that's not necessarily where I'm at. They're amazing at what they do. But when I go to a show, I want to see something as well.
Right.
And because they're not as demonstrably active, I get bored. And I hate to say that. It's not because they're boring. It's because
Right.
I'm myself bored because I'm so used to shit like Napalm Death, where Barney's walking up walls and jumping on people's
Yeah.
heads, But what they do, dude, is so... I mean, Danny Carey's one of the greatest fucking drummers of all
Yeah.
time, dude, and the way they mesh together as a band is so effortless. It just, I mean, they take you there. I mean, and they'll extrapolate stuff for minutes upon minutes to getting you there, and it's longer than the album, and you're just like, they're just pulling you in, and you're like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But to me, maybe I should go and see them now. As older, I would probably appreciate it more than I did when I was younger.
Yeah, how about this Power Trip Festival that's
Dude,
going to
I
go on in
know.
October? Like, Jesus.
Who's on the
Who's
bill?
playing that?
So
Dude.
basically, every big band on the planet. So
Like,
it's Metallica,
Guns N'
Guns N'
Roses.
Roses, AC/DC, and there's one more.
Tool.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And they had Ozzy, but Ozzy had backed out.
He had to drop out.
Do we know who's replacing Ozzy?
I don't know if they are. I think they've flicked. So it's all like one weekend.
Yeah, it's like 4
the-
days of just stadium shit.
It's
Wow.
crazy. I think it's the same place where they do.
Indio, California.
Yeah.
Coachella.
Oh,
that-
yeah,
It's
Coachella Valley.
right where Coachella is done. So
Yeah.
it's like, so they're just like, okay, fuck your hippie shit. Here's this, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, who else could you get to
Is
play
Metallica
that?
playing it?
Yeah. I was
of
just
course.
talking to Lars about it. He was just like, yeah, we're doing this power trip thing, man. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, you guys are going out. This is going to be fucking nuts, dude. There's not going to be any metalheads left on the planet. They're all going to be in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
I was just watching a YouTube clip on Metallica when they played to like 1.5 million people in Russia.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
It's
is that accurate? 1.5
Yeah,
million
it is,
people?
man.
Have you seen that video?
I saw something on social media where it was like, this is what 1.5 million people looks like, and then swipe, and then this is what 100,000 looks like, and then swipe, and this is like what 1,000 looks like.
Right.
And I swiped all the way through it, but then I went back to the 1.5 million people, and it didn't look any different than the 100,000. I kind of didn't, because you couldn't fit all those people into frame.
It's pretty crazy.
How are
Like,
they just ticket sales?
It was the first really big, heavy band that had ever played Russia. It was
91?
91.
91?
It was 91 because it was right after the Black Album came out. Metallica by that time was arguably the biggest band on the planet because remember Guns was out at that time and they were doing Use Your Illusion. So Metallica, and this is before the Guns and Metallica tour that they did. They're out there. It was before James got lit up. This is before the explosion hit him.
Oh,
So,
shit.
Yeah. So it was right in that time frame. They're the biggest band in the world, in the universe at that point. Up to that point, I'd say the most modern show that had ever been played in Moscow was the Peace Festival that happened in '89, which was Motley, Bon Jovi, Cinderella. It was like fucking Skid Row was there, Scorpions, and they were doing the
Motley was
Yeah.
claiming they were sober.
Yeah, it was and that was one of the reasons why they were doing it was to promote that. And yet then Ozzy was on it, and Zach tells all these horror stories about the plane ride over where everybody was fucking just shit faced, dude, and you're just like, oh my god. But I think that was the most modern show that had been played. Because remember, the curtain was kind of still on and off at that point.
Yeah.
87.
Yeah, so 80,
Well, 89,
87,
the wall
88.
came down.
Yeah, yeah. So 91, Metallica hits. They're the biggest band in the fucking world. Everybody and their mom is going to that show. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it wasn't like even 10 years ago where Russia was kind of a spot on your tour. Like you did Russia. I've played Moscow
Yeah.
many times, you know, not anymore, but at the time nobody did it. So word got out, and think about how big Russia is. You're going to fucking make your way to that show. You're going to get to that show.
Yeah.
So 1.5, honestly, in my opinion, maybe a small number. Because there could have been fucking, it could have been like the original Woodstock where they just stopped taking tickets and it was just everybody and their fucking mom coming over, Junior's farm. They're just like, we're going to fucking see this shit.
Yeah.
So
Jeez.
good, man.
Yeah.
Did I see something in the news recently? About just some love for Jason Newsted, like everything, like they.
I think so. Yeah, they've really. I think it's
Yeah.
one of the things they've been opening up about because, in retrospect, and maybe it's because they've started to talk about it now, is like the way that how they handled it. And the more they're like really exploring how they handle him, they really fucking hurt him, man. I mean,
Yeah,
For people who don't know,
Jason
like
Newsted
me.
was okay.
he was the
too.
one who replaced Cliff Burton
Yeah.
in Metallica after Cliff died.
I see.
Cliff
and-
died in 1986.
Yeah.
Okay.
On tour with Ozzy.
Yeah, they were
How'd
on
he
a
die?
bus.
A bus on a slippery road in
Yeah.
Scandinavia.
and it flipped over.
Oh,
and,
He's the only one that died?
He's the only one that died.
died.
And they had drawn straws to about like which bunk they were gonna sleep in, and I forget if Cliff got the longest straw.
He got first choice, and according to the story, he wanted Kirk's bunk, so he switched bunks with Kirk. So, when the bus accident happened, he was in that bunk when it could have been Kirk who died. So it's like the mythos surrounding that accident is so huge. You can actually drive to that spot and there's a memorial where Cliff died. Like it's that powerful. And it's 3 hours out of the way. It's crazy, man. I mean, it's one of those drives where today a band at that level would probably fly because of the terrain and how crazy it gets up there.
Yeah, so they replaced
replaced him
Cliff
with Jason,
Newsted.
who was the bass player for a band called
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Jetsam. And
All right,
he was a
Steve.
massive Metallica fan. They had a lot of people actually try out for the spot, including guy from Primus.
Les Claypool.
Les Claypool actually tried out, and they were like, "This is interesting, but this isn't us."
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy, right?
Right.
Could you imagine Les Claypool with Metallica? Like, the fucking shit. You're just like,
I think
Yeah.
that it just from a type A personality type thing
Right.
that wouldn't have worked
It
with
wouldn't have
Lars.
Well,
and
it would have been a
James.
totally different band.
too many Chiefs. Exactly.
So that's
So
when people say like Metallica turned down Les Claypool. That's the reason why. Because I've always heard that. And I'm like, why would they turn him down?
Well, they turned him down because honestly, at the time, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, this was before Primus was even a household name. You know, people need to remember the first album that Jason did was actually the Garage Days album, which was the
Right.
cover album. the
Garage
covers
Days
album.
revisited.
Revisited. I still, up until a couple of years ago, had my original copy. I had the 598 EP, the cassette.
Okay, yeah.
Because they had the 598 EP, and then they had the 798 vinyl. Because it was always affordable, but it was always a different price for the different format and whatnot.
How many tracks can you remember from Garage Days revisited? Green Hell, Last Caress.
Oh yeah, Green Hill, Last Caress. There was The Weight.
Yeah.
There was Helpless.
Yeah.
Crash Course in Brain Surgery.
Yeah.
And there was The Small Hours. That's the whole album. And then they end with Green Hell. Fuck yeah. Oh, dude. That's one of my favorite albums of all time.
It's epic.
And they recorded it in this garage that they built, basically, to kind of let's just do something and vibe and see what happens. So this was before And Justice for All. So they record that. They go in, it's super fucking punk rock. It's super like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's dirty. And it's a great fucking album, man. And that led to going in and doing And Justice for All, which a lot of people think was a reaction to the fact that they were subliminally dealing with
The death.
Cliff's
Lots
brick,
of
because there's
death, yeah.
no bass on that album at all, really. I mean, yet there are, you can go on YouTube and find versions where people have added bass, and they call it And Justice for Jason because they buried him in the mix. I mean, it's such a two-track mix that you're listening to it going, what the fuck's going on here? Because I remember I stood in line waiting for that album to come out, and I bought it and I listened to it, and the first time I listened to it, I was like, this is fucking crushes, it's killer. And then I started going, well, it doesn't sound as thick as their other stuff, but you didn't mind because it was riffy as fuck,
Thick as the bass.
Exactly. And people talk about whether or not that was them subliminally reacting to the fact that Cliff was dead. And purportedly, the way they treated Jason over the years was really, really bad. And even James has admitted to it. Because, I mean, it's tough, I mean, you just lost somebody that you were in the trenches with. They were all young. They didn't know how to process grief. Nobody helped them process it. So what they did was they took it out on the new guy.
Or got really fucked up.
Yeah,
All
or
of the
both.
above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
It's really just something special when people step up and acknowledge. That's right. When a man admits that he's wrong, he's done something right. And that's a good thing. So we should all admit that what we're doing to the environment, to Mother Earth with plastic is wrong. And that's why I support Liquid Death. I support Liquid Death big time around here. Down at Tight Box Packing, we pound them out of this machine all day long. Yeah, because we love Liquid Death. And why is it called Liquid Death? Well, not only are they bringing death to plastic, which is destroying the world, with their infinitely recyclable tallboy cans that are designed to look like beers, but don't be scared, it's just water, baby. And they don't only do water, now they've got flavored sparkling water, they've got all these killer teas with funny named flavors like Armless Palmer. Dude, they just don't ever stop. And wait until you see the Killer Liquid Death campaign that we've got coming out in the next couple weeks or so. Whew, it's scary. It's so rad. And scary how they murder your thirst, dude. Liquid Death, this is the way to go. And for the listeners of the Wild Ride podcast, you can get 20% off your first apparel purchase at liquiddeath.com if you add that /Stevo. It's liquiddeath.com/Stevo. Everything about this company rules. Their merch is epic. So grab that deal for 20% off merch. Find their products all over at retailers, on Amazon, the rest of it. Support Liquid Death because I love them. Now, let's get back to it.
That's
Right.
really big. And it's something that, and this is how sad it is. When it happens, it catches you by surprise because not a lot of people do it.
Right.
Which you wish it was the opposite.
Right.
It's like you wish that it would just be something that you just take for granted. It's like, of course. Oh, fuck. Of course, man. My bad. I was
Right.
totally in the wrong. If more people
Right.
would own everything they do, not just the good shit,
For
but the
sure.
bad, man, I think there would be more of an embracing of humanity as a whole.
Big time.
Yeah.
An example of that, which I think is just so epic, Bill Clinton, after his presidency,
Right.
stepped up to acknowledge his failure to intervene on what happened in Rwanda.
Right.
And that was really
And he's
meaningful.
100% correct to be,
Yeah.
it was in his hand.
Right.
And and
They
I don't
wouldn't
know
call
if
it a
it's
genocide. And It was
Right.
totally a genocide.
right. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why shit on him just because he's a bass player? I mean, you wouldn't do that if you brought on a new singer.
Well, it's largely because they didn't, like I said, they didn't know how to deal with grief. And even though and I think one of the things is because Jason was such a nice guy.
And he was such a, like, it was a little bit like Karabi coming into the crew, where he was
Right.
like, dude, I can't believe I'm in Metallica. And they're like,
Right.
buddy, we're not looking for a fan.
Right.
We're looking for a bassist.
We were looking for somebody
Yeah.
who's going to, help us take it. Because one of the reasons why Robert works is because Robert was Robert for years, He's a fan, but he also knows how to hold his own. Whereas Jason came in and was just, he fucking grew up listening to Metallica, you
Right.
know? Like, they had done shows together on festivals and whatnot. He was a fucking fan. So when you're already dealing with the negativity of grief and you also compound it with alcohol,
And
your perspective on some shit like that can be skewed, and how do I say this nicely? A harsh personality will dissect that and then destroy you for it. Someone that positive and that stoked about life, coming into that situation with three people who are really fucking hurting. You add alcohol and repression, and they're going to go, you know what?
You're done.
I'm going to shred you. I'm going to
Yeah.
shred. And that's sad. It's human nature, though.
I think there's another level too of just like the type A, like the
Right.
the Chiefs.
Right.
Just there's a level of control.
Too many of it, yeah.
Yeah, and Lars and James are kind of notorious for that.
Oh,
What-
100%.
What album was it for?
What a fun deep dive into Metallica.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but to go even further, what album was it for the West Memphis 3?
Oh, well, I mean, they were using the soundtrack of Master of Puppets.
Right. Yeah. It was Joe Berlinger, the director, I believe was the director for some kind of a monster.
They used
he's been
Orion, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So he's been friends with them for years, and he used their music to kind of help convey that story.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was powerful.
It's very powerful, man. Like, especially knowing the background on this. I know a lot about that because I was a part of the Black Flag tribute album that Henry put out to raise money for their legal defense and whatnot. I tried to help kind of spread as much.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
When did Henry do that?
This was 2002. Yeah,
right, because I was
2002.
going to say it couldn't have been recent because
No,
he wants
no,
nothing
no.
to do with making music.
No,
right?
this was years ago, and he actually used Mother Superior. He used his Henry Rollins band at the time, which was Jim Wilson and Mother Superior, to recreate all of those Black Flag albums. So he had guest people come in and sing everything. So I did, I did Room 13.
Did Ian MacKaye get on that?
No, I don't think so. But he did have, Keith Morris was on it. Keith came in and sang something. Dean Ween did fucking Gimme Gimme Gimme, and it shredded. I mean, dude, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, it was so good, dude. It's probably one of my favorite versions of that song, man. It's really good. Ice-T did Police Story. Like, it's hard to find now, but it's called, oh, God damn it, what's it called? It's called, I can't remember what the,
I can look it up.
yeah, it's the Rise Above. It's called Rise Above, and it's the album to raise money for the West Memphis 3, and it's
crazy.
really cool.
It's crazy how Black Flag between Rollins and Greg Ginn, like
Right.
it's just two totally different bands.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like Van
Right.
Halen.
Uh-huh.
Like just two totally different bands, and I just can't imagine. Rollins would never have sung "Gimme Gimme Gimme," right? Or
No, but at the same time, he re-sang a lot of stuff on that album with that band, so he was able to recreate it. Like they did slip it in. I think they redid "My War." Like there's a lot
My
of
War's
fucking
good.
rat, which
Dude.
that song, you're just like, unless you wrote that song, there's no way to really recreate it. You're just like, it's fucking crazy. It's one of the craziest pieces of music I've ever fucking heard.
yeah,
dude.
My War, dude,
Yeah.
and that the whole "In My Head" album, so good.
I agree. That's one of the bands that helped form my approach to heavy music was just the ferocity in the music itself, just how frenetic Greg Ginn's fucking playing is, and then the way Henry sang was so intense. It's like atonal but so intense, like you can hear the blood in his throat, dude. Like you're just like, oh fuck, and it's like you feel like you're being hit, and you feel like you're going through what he went through that inspired everything that he fucking wrote about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that like all these bands are getting together to raise money for the legal defense, but can't the legal defense just give them a 50% discount? Or like,
I mean, you
No.
think
why? I mean, why would it?
they're lawyers.
Well, yeah, I know. That's the problem with lawyers. Is
exactly.
like if I can call them, they probably charge them to take the phone call to let them know that they're raising the money for the funds.
The
You know,
one,
it's like,
if it's one thing I've learned about lawyers is the only time they'll fucking be on time to hit you up about anything is if they haven't been paid yet. When you need something, we'll get to it. You know,
Yeah, of course.
It's anything
Right.
billable, they're coming for you.
Right. Man, we've done such a deep dive into all this great stuff. And, dude, I've just been really enjoying that.
Oh, it's all good.
Right. I want to say that you look fucking fantastic,
Thanks, man. Thank you.
I heard somebody accuse you of being in your 50s.
I turned 50 this year.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, man.
Wait,
Fuck yeah.
next year. I just turned 49.
Okay, yeah, so I'll be 50 in December.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
how do you feel about it?
It's interesting. I'm still trying to kind of piece it together because physically I feel no different than I did, you know? Obviously I got Slipknot miles on me and shit, you know, but for the most part, I'm okay, you know? Like I've learned early on that I would have to physically kind of try to slide through some of the shit that I never had to worry about when I was younger. Obviously, you know, my recovery a lot longer. I'm sober.
How long you been sober?
13 years now.
Yeah,
man.
dude, right on.
I quit smoking 8 years ago. I try to stay as healthy as I can, obviously, but I still love shitty food. So it's a constant battle, especially when you have to kind of look good to try and sell your shit. I get up on stage, I'm like, "Hey, ladies, and food. You see this? Huh? Yeah, that's water weight. You know, it's you kind of have to do what you have to do to be in this business, right?
Yeah.
So I try to stay as healthy as I can, not only to look good, but also to be able to perform at that level.
Sure.
And as I get closer to 50, it's this weird dichotomy because I don't necessarily look 50, but there are definitely mornings when I feel 67. Let's put it that way. Like getting up is an arduous process.
Do you stretch?
I try to, man. I'm not very strict. My wife is way better at the maintenance stuff because she's been athletic her whole fucking life, man. So she's like on me. She's like, you know, she's trying to keep me alive because she likes me. I don't know what the fuck her problem is. But
So annoying.
love you, babe.
Wow.
How long you been married?
6 years. Well, we've been together for 6 years. We've been married for 4.
Okay.
And I'm mad at myself for not meeting her when I was younger. Let's put it that way. She's that amazing, you know?
Wow.
And she's my best friend, man. I mean, in fact, it's like as soon as I'm done here, I run right to the airport to fly home just so I can hang out with her, you know?
Where are you
Great,
flying
man.
home to?
To Vegas, yeah.
Vegas.
I mean, where we were when I did the podcast last time.
Okay.
You were in
That,
Vegas.
yeah. So,
Do you go to the fights ever in Vegas?
no, man, I try to stay away from the strip unless I'm working because it's just messy, you know?
Yeah.
Like every trailer park in the world is empty and they're all at the strip. And I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake. I just can't do it. And listen, I'm not shitting on anybody. Live your life, do whatever. But you have to understand how messy you are in my city. It's hard for me to get around when everybody's walking around in neon thongs and gigantic fucking,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, those big
beverages.
drinks?
I'm
Yeah,
just
those
like, oh,
giant
the
drinks.
yards.
They're like 4
Dude,
foot
they're
tall
crazy.
drinks.
How long have you lived in Vegas?
15 years now, 14 years. excuse me.
Wow.
And you have the Oakland A's coming there soon.
I know. It's insane.
You know what's really insane is how much money there is to be made if you can build an audience online. I know some of you have an audience, and maybe you're not monetizing that audience by offering cool stuff that people want and getting it to them efficiently and affordably. And that's where ShipStation comes in. How do you think I get all the orders out of tight box packing? Like my big old speakers, my new bobblehead over here. I'm telling you, dude, I do it with ShipStation. Every time an order comes in, the label prints out, we put the merch in the box, we slap on the label, and we send it on out. We got FedEx coming to the warehouse to pick up. We got UPS. We got United States Postal Service. We got them all. And through ShipStation, we get the best deals that there are to get. Deals that are normally reserved for Fortune 500 companies. And you know what? You can try this all out yourself very easily, very quickly. If you go to ShipStation.com, use the promo code STEVO for your free 60-day trial period. I'm telling you, it's that easy. Doesn't matter how you're selling your stuff. If it's on Etsy, Amazon, eBay, your own website, doesn't matter. It's one easy interface and it brings together everything right on one site. And you can try it for 60 days. No risk, free trial. I'm telling you guys, it's time to make ship happen. So go to ShipStation.com and use the promo code STEVO to start your risk-free trial. Now, let's get back to it.
I tell you what, more people have. It's the city has changed a lot since a lot of the sports teams have come in, and I'm not. It's not a bad thing. I love it. You know, I love the fact that the Raiders are there. I love the fact that the A's might be coming there. Somebody mentioned the fact that the Kings might be coming. Like, I mean, we went from having no teams
Right.
to then the Knights really was the thing that set the frenzy off. Because they weren't going to bring in any sports teams, and then they were like, "Okay, we'll try it with a hockey team." You know,
money.
And I'm telling you, dude. And I have a buddy who works with the Knights, and he let me know this. He's like, "We put on the first year that the Knights were there, they put out 23,000 season tickets, and they sold out within 15 minutes.
Whoa.
That quick, because that's how much locals wanted something."
But hockey?
Yeah, they're fucking great, dude. They just won the cup.
Yeah.
They won the cup
Whoa.
this year.
They won,
yeah.
said that they are the Stanley Cup.
They
Is
are
that
the
because
Stan-
Vegas has the money to get
No,
the best team?
it's because they took the time and they handpicked, especially the first year, because they've been perennially really good. They took cast-offs from other teams who were good, but could never get through because the stars were outshining everybody, and they constructed a fucking clutch team. And I mean, of like crazy fuckers, and they just started to bear. It's crazy that they haven't won more cups than they have because they're that good.
I mean, 23,000 season tickets. Like, how big is the
That's
stadium
crazy.
that they're in?
That's maxed. That's maxed.
That,
on
yeah,
the
like for an
stadium.
arena.
Yeah, for a hockey stadium, that's pretty big, and they did
fucking
it
huge.
They did it
Super big.
immediately. Yeah.
I mean, arenas are like 15,000, right? Like,
Supposed to be-
No, it can
generally?
be 15 to 25. Yeah. Some of because once you get up into like 40 or 50, that's like stadium size.
Yeah.
And after that, it gets up into the 80s and the hundreds, and that's where it's crazy.
I saw a headline that said, you know, now with the interest rates up, that 1 in 4 home buyers is finding a new state to live in.
Yeah.
And the number one city that people are moving to is Las Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I've seen the traffic. And I see all the different fucking license plates and shit,
Yeah.
and I was like, and they all clog it up. But that's fine, you
But
know.
what about, like, the water crisis? Like, isn't there, like, I mean, you guys are...
Well, here's the thing. After that whole thing happened, we had a bout of extreme rainfall come in to the point where our reservoirs are topped up now, which is
Okay.
crazy. We had
Yeah.
more rainfall last year than we had the 5 years prior to that.
Okay.
yeah, the Hoover
And-
Dam's like full.
It was crazy, dude. I mean, it was. I mean, living there, having to deal with people who don't normally have to drive in the rain, and I'm from Iowa, so I've driven fucking everything, you know. Watching these asshats freak out because it's damp, I was just like, just put your purse down. Go! You're not gonna fucking slip and fall in a gulch. Just drive.
I can see you doing
asshat.
that in the car, too.
I'm that guy. I'm an asshole. That's where my buddies keep trying to get me to get the Mr. Wheeler tattoo. You know, the old Disney cartoon where Goofy's like the crazy driver.
Oh my God.
That's me. I'm that guy. So as soon as I get behind the wheel of car, I go from zero to asshole very quickly.
That's funny.
It's not great, but it can be very funny. My wife is just like, oh, here he goes. It's bad. Yeah.
I love the way you describe your relationship with your wife, man.
Yeah, man.
I've got a fiance I'm similarly in love with.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's rare, dude. It's such a rare vibe when you
Yeah.
meet someone that not only you really love and you're really passionate about, but someone you really fucking like. And that's,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been married twice before, you know, and the first time we were young, the second time was a horrible mistake. But, and I honestly, after that divorce, I basically was like, that's it. I'm never even fucking considering this shit. And then I met the love of my life. It was, and it came out of nowhere. So
Yeah,
it's special.
That's one of the questions I wanted to ask you when I was driving here. Is like, how important is it to find that special someone? Because probably in your 20s or 30s, it's like you have a band member that's like in a toxic relationship and they're outside the studio arguing with
Yeah,
them, and they
dude.
come in and it's like their
Yeah.
head's not into it. Like,
Yeah.
it's really important to have somebody like that in your life. I mean,
Yeah. Not only that, but somebody that you can feel supportive of as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to support them, especially when they're supporting you as much as possible. Like, you want that yin and yang.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's very rare, man. And when you find somebody like that, you need to hold on to them.
But how'd you know she was the one?
I knew when the first time she told me exactly what she fucking felt, and she wasn't being mean. Let's put it that way. My wife is one of the smartest people I know, and she's also very forthright, and she's never going to scream at you about anything. My wife's never screamed at me. But she's going to let me know her opinion. And 9 times out of 10, her common sense defeats my mammalian ego lizard shit, and I have to sit back and go, fuck, you know?
Fuck, she's right.
And she's always nice about it, and
Yeah.
that's what kills me. It's like, could you just be a dick for a second? Just give me that. And she's like, nope, we're just gonna have this conversation, and I'm gonna leave it with you, and then you let me know what you think.
Just sets
and I just
appropriate
kind of
boundaries.
sit, and I give it about 10 minutes. I go, fuck, you're right. And as a man, that's hard.
Sure.
But once you realize that it's not an offense to you as a person, she's just trying to show you where you may be mistaken and a better way to do it. It's like, it's not necessarily that she wants you to be wrong. She just wants you to both do what's correct, not even right, man, you know? So there have definitely been times where I haven't talked to her about certain shit, and I've just made decisions because I'm a man, and sometimes I am rash, you know? And she goes, you need to fucking talk to me about some of this shit, because some of it's blown back on me quite badly. And I'm just like, oh, fuck.
Steve, you could talk about that.
I can relate to all of it.
Yeah, I mean, what's been the difference in your and Lux relationship? Because you guys have always had an upward trajectory, but I feel like in the last year and a half, it's kind of gone upward even more so. What's changed?
I think that the first important piece is that for me, it wasn't about finding the right person nearly as much as it was about becoming the right person.
Right. And that's a big part of it, exactly.
Right. I would have been absolutely useless to Lux if I hadn't put in the work preemptively to learn how to be in a healthy relationship.
Right.
And that took a lot of work. I had a lot of,
Stuff to clean up.
A lot of stuff to clean up.
So you kind of got to be ready to meet the right person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean,
And it's always when you least expect it too, man. You know, like when I was, before my wife and I actually even got together, we had met, and there was definitely something there. And I told her, I was like, I'm not in a spot to be in a relationship at all.
How
man.
come?
Because I had a lot of damage.
Scar tissue.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was holding me together. That's all I had, man. Like I was psychologically emotionally, physically fucked up about it. Like I was a physical manifestation of all the stress and toxicity that I dealt with.
Like childhood trauma or past relationships?
Past relationship. That relationship, my previous marriage.
The second marriage. And did the second marriage ending coincide with sobriety?
No. I was sober through the whole thing,
wow.
which meant I lived it hard.
Felt every feeling.
Dude, it was in my skin.
Wow.
It was in my and I had a lot of shit happen to me kind of all at once. I had my spinal injury happen where I had to have spinal surgery, so I couldn't work out, so I couldn't be physical. I was still imbibing a shit ton of calories, but I wasn't able to burn it and work it. Her and I's relationship was at an all-time low. We were working tirelessly. I'm definitely not the easiest person to live with. Neither is she. I'm not, it takes two, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna lay everything at somebody's feet. But there was definitely, the pure hardest truth is we weren't meant to be together. And it was kind of like that from the beginning, but in the beginning, you don't really pay attention to anything. You don't listen to the signs. And things just progress. By that time you're married. By that time you're like that. There's that thing in you from Iowa that's like, okay, just maybe this is just how it is. Let's just make it work. Stoicism, all that shit. Instead of really listening. So by the time I got out of that relationship, I didn't even look like myself. If I showed you pictures, you'd be like, oh my God, like it's tough.
Red hair and all that.
No, I've long shitty hair.
Then you looked 50.
I looked like I was pushing 60, man.
Yeah.
I was bad. I was overweight. You could see it like in my skin, dude. I just looked fucked up, and I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing drugs. I wasn't doing anything, man. But I looked like it, which was crazy. And that's when her and I started talking, because I hit her up about opening a Stone Sour tour, because I was putting a tour together, and I wanted to do something different. Her group, the Cherry Bombs, are amazing. Like there's like this Cirque type dance troupe that does fire with heavy metal music. They do aerial. They do it all. It's fucking rad. And she's a superhero, man. And we really hit it off. And I had to be brutally honest with her. I was like, I'm not even close to having processed this. And because I was just on a crazy wormhole of like kind of self-disgust, trying to figure out what even made me happy, man, And it wasn't until I kind of pulled my head back up and took a breath, and it was just like, man, I'm still miserable. So something's not right, And I started working on myself. Luckily, by that time, we were on tour together, and she and I, she was still hurting from the fact that I'd said no, but she was still one of the few people that I really wanted to talk to, because I respect her so much, So one thing led to another. We started talking again, and she laid it out for me. She's like, the choices that you're making in your life are gonna bite you in the ass. You need to figure out why you're miserable, and you need to figure out how to make yourself fucking happy again. You need to get back to that point. And she's always been the person to put it in perspective for me, and without any thought of herself, to be honest. Like, she's just like, listen, forget it's me. Just tell me what you're feeling, and tell me what's up, so you can start to kind of figure out how to get back to a place where you feel good again, man. And then one thing led to another, and I just realized, I was like, I don't want to live the rest of my life. I don't want to live one more fucking day without her. And as soon as we waited until the tour was done, and we've been together ever since.
Damn.
And that was 2017.
And now you take your anger out on the people in traffic.
I do.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good outlet for it.
Do you create better music when you're depressed or when you're happy?
I think that's a cop out, to be honest, because I know a lot of musicians who think that they write better music when they're fucked up. And I've never been able to at all, man. I think music is whatever mood you're in that moment. You know what I mean? I definitely write really good when I'm feeling something intensely, whether it's anger or really bereft of happiness. Like there's a bottom that I can hit where some really poignant shit comes out of me. But some of my favorite music I wrote when I was really happy. You know what I mean? Like so I don't look for moments to kind of descend on it. I honestly, if I'm feeling it, I try to write it down as quickly as possible because I know it comes in waves for me. I'll definitely have moments where I'm not feeling anything inspiring, so I'm like, I'm not going to try to write anything because I'm not going to try and force it because it's going to sound forced, you know?
Right.
But no matter what, whether I'm up or down, and I definitely have moments where I'm super down, I know that I'm going to be able to write something that I can then go back and still relate to later, you know? So, and I think I'm lucky in that respect. I'm definitely thankful for it, but I've never had to wait until I was depressed to write something. I've always had something to say, and it's always felt important for some reason.
Yeah, I always feel like sometimes people subconsciously self-sabotage, like writers subconsciously self-sabotage themselves so their life's shitty.
Yeah.
It's always shitty so they can...
Because it's romantic.
I'm a writer.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And is that how they came up with the genre of the blues? Because you're feeling bluesy? Is that...
Well, no, I think that had more to do with the fact that it was a marriage of gospel and country. But
it's always depressing music, right?
But it also came from the black culture. I mean, that they started singing it as a celebration because of the work that they were doing in the fields, because of the brutality that they were dealing with in their lives. They took the gospel music, the country music that they were hearing, and a lot of the music that they had brought over from Africa and kind of married it together to create this wholly different vibe. The roots of the blues, I believe, are from that kind of country western accent, but it's a really good question because I'm not sure because I mean there are whole documentaries that you can go and look up, and so many people have so many different answers to it. But to me, the spirit of the blues is really about singing it away. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
For me, the best thing you can do is write something down, because once you write it down, it's physical and you can get a handle on it. If you just let it sit in your head, it's just air, man, and you can't get a grip on it, and you can't figure out a way to kind of shape it to do something for you, you know?
Yeah, I feel like some of the Led Zeppelin's best music has to do around heartache.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. Like,
you know?
and some of the stuff that Robert wrote is to this day is so ethereal. And I mean, you look at I was just listening to fucking Stairway to Heaven last night, and I know it's crazy that somebody just sat down
9
and
minutes.
listened to Stairway to Heaven,
Yeah,
and
it
they're
was the
not
time.
like 21, you know? Like, it's I've always forget how powerful that song is.
Yeah.
Until you put it on, because that song is 8 fucking minutes
It's a
long.
journey.
It really is.
Yeah, the high school dance, it starts out as a
Right.
slow dance.
It's
Yeah.
like, well, we're gonna be here for a minute, babe. So, how much longer you want to stay here? I'm really starting to get an itch. You know?
Dude, Zeppelin, man, like there's no formula for like from one
Right.
tune to the next. It's a totally different band.
Yeah, and that's what inspired me to write the way I do, especially for CMFT, because the stuff that I listened to growing up, you would have all of these different styles on one album, and yet it was the same band, and they would just kind of put it through their own filter, you know? I don't know where we lost that, or where it became out of fashion for guys that play my type of music to just everything just feels so fucking linear.
I think songwriters, ghostwriters, and
and that very well could be, because I've always written my own shit.
Yeah.
So I try to explore as much as I can, and I've always kind of had that roadmap, man. Like, and maybe it's because they were, you know, the pioneers, so they could kind of, you know, explore different musical landscapes and whatnot. But I'm like, man, fuck that. I'm not gonna not do that. I have to.
I mean, I think it's just gotten industrialized. It's like movies too. Like it's safer to just like
Right.
Politically
give the
correct.
people what
And
they
I've
want. Like
hated
make another
fucking
Avengers
safe
movie.
my whole
That's
career.
a safer
Like, I
bet.
couldn't give a shit
Yeah.
about any of that stuff. I'd rather play stuff. I'd rather risk for a motherfucker than sit back and give them a pillow. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
exactly.
I'd rather just fucking put it out there and go, this is how I feel, and this is how I want it to sound. What do you think? You don't dig it? All right, we'll try this one.
Yeah,
You know?
but at
Like,
least it's
fuck
you.
it.
Like, at
exactly.
least you're just being
It's
yourself.
like nobody's living my fucking life.
Yeah.
Can you talk the CMF2?
Right.
You had the song Midnight,
Yes.
Bowie inspired. I listened to it today.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
What was the process like for writing that?
That song is actually an old song. Like, a lot of the reasons why I started my solo career is because I had all of these fucking songs that I've written over the years. I've never had a spot to kind of put them out, you know? And Midnight was a song that I had actually forgotten that I wrote. And I would found an old demo of it in a folder on my computer. And I went, oh, fuck. Dude, I remember this. I recorded the demo for this back in 2000 when I was actually putting together the demos for what would be the resurgence of Stone Sour.
Whoa.
And the project was called Project X, because that's what we were going to call it. And we didn't realize the name was taken. So that thing went through like 2 or 3 different name changes. At one point, it was called Super Ego. At another point, it was called Closure. And then we finally, like 3 or 4 fucking names were taken. And I just called everybody and I was like, listen, let's just call this Stone Sour. Nobody's taken that name. Nobody wants the name. It's a shitty name. It's not a great name. It's an alcoholic drink. That's what it's a whiskey Stone Sour.
Ah, there you go.
And that's where we got the name from. And we just thought it was cool. We were 20, you know, like,
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, it's everybody from Stone Sour with Josh Rand, you know, let's just call it that. Just, we have a name and we can just put it out. Right. And in the thick of things, it was actually the same demo session in 2000 where I'd recorded Bother for the first time when I did a demo for that. And I did a demo for Midnight, and it was called something else at the time. I can't remember what the fuck it was called, but it was, I remember listening to it last year, and I was like, I'm gonna re-record this and I'm gonna bring it in and I'm gonna give it that life that it never had, you know. And and the crazy thing is that I can actually relate to that song more today than I did when I wrote it, because that song is very much about that melancholy vibe you get when you're feeling physical depression and you just need to get yourself out. You just need to get yourself up and move through air, feel something in life, get in your fucking car and drive. You're not going anywhere. You just
Gotta
need
move.
a reason to be in your car and listen to the radio other than just sitting in your driveway like a psychopath. You know, it's like, I'm just going to drive. I'm going to put on some shit. I'm going to stare into the dark and I'm going to allow myself to feel this shit. But I'm not going to, I don't want to feel like I'm just putting my back against the world so I can feel it rotate. I need to move. I need to do something. And that's what that song is about. It's about kind of talking it out. It's a conversation in your own head where you're just like, okay, I know that I'm going to have to deal with this for a few days. I know that at some point it's going to lift that physical depression and I'm going to be okay. But in this moment, I need to ease back. I need to hold down the anxiety. I get very anxious when I know that it's coming. And just prepare myself for the fact that for 3 days I'm going to feel physically numb and I'm not going to be able to relate to anybody. And it's actually easier today because my wife actually understands. Like, it's the first time that any of my spouses have really understood what I go through. And it's because I've described it to her, and I tell her, and I was like, listen, when this comes on, it's not you. It has nothing to do with you. I don't control this. This is just something that, for whatever reason, just happens to me. And I will not feel like myself. I will feel like someone holding up it's that commercial, that they're holding up the cardboard face and they're just kind of hiding behind it. That's literally what it feels like. And it's like, do you have to understand it's not you. I just need you to be patient. and I need you to be supportive, and we'll be okay. And she's like, done. And ever since then, I've never feared having that happen to me again, because I know my wife has my fucking back. And I've never felt that in my life, dude. It's incredible.
What do you do if that happens to you when you're about to go on stage, or like?
When I'm on the road, because I've been so good at leaning into it and going through the motions, it's easier to feel something when you're in that moment, because it's such a shock to the system. Whenever you're in front of an audience, there's so much energy that's going to happen. So regardless of when you're feeling, basically you're sucking up theirs to kind of get through your own. You know what I mean? Luckily, it's never been debilitating in that point. But I will say this: when I get off stage, it's almost like I'm extra empty, because I give so much.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's crazy,
Yeah.
man. I've literally had moments in hotel rooms where I say to myself, it's like, I can't even lay on the bed. I have to lay on the floor, and I have to make myself do this, because my body is just making me need it. You know, so I lay down and I just stare up there, and I lay there until I'm ready to get up. And because I allow myself to make that decision, it helps me lean into it and embrace it, and not look at it as something negative, just something that's in my life. You know, it's fucking, I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's what's worked for me so far.
Wow. Sounds like there's like a lot of growth that you've gone through.
I'm hopefully.
Of course, obviously, and being an older guy.
Fuck, if there's not, then I'm fucked. You
So
know?
I mean that to say this, like, and I'm sure you're sick of talking about it, but had this MGK bullshit happened like 10 years or
Right.
15 years before,
Right.
because you handled it so well, so like maturely, almost like big brothered him with it.
Oh, dude, I would have been such an asshole 15 years ago. Because even back then, as much as I was trying to get a hold on my ego back then, I was still leaning into it. You know, like I was still just kind of a dog off of a chain, really, you know? And what I had to realize is that there are certain things about him that I identify with, man.
Right.
You know, we're both big personalities. We both have massive mouths, you know? Like we both love the sound of our own fucking voice. Let's put it that way, you know? But I can admit that, you know, I'm not going to be the asshole who goes, you know, I'm too together for that shit. Fucking fuck that, man.
Right.
I'm an asshole. I can be, you know? And the fact that I was able to go, you know what? I had just as much to blame about that situation as he did, you know? And I think people didn't realize that. People just wanted to pick a side instead of look at what was going on, you know? And it wasn't until we both kind of sat, you know, because he did it in that interview, and then I did it later talking to Allie from Spotify. We were able to both go, you know what? I was a dick, and I ran off at the fucking mouth, and it turned into some shit, you know? And that's one of the reasons why we don't talk about it. It got brought up yesterday, and I said the same thing. I was like, you know what? I think we both handled it. We both let it explode, but then we both were like, you know what? This has gone too far. And I even cut off fans who come up to me and scream. They do. I mean, they scream it.
Like, fuck MGK.
MGK. And I'm like, okay, that was 2 years ago.
Right.
Which is crazy when you think
I know,
about it.
so much.
It's fine, man. Like it's done and buried, and we're not going there, you know? Like I wish him some peace, and I hope he wishes me some peace.
Yeah.
You know? Cuz and that's where it needs to stay. It's the shit where you're just gnawing at it and worrying at it like a bone, that it can make you fucking break your teeth on something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, at this point, man, I just want to make great music. I mean, at this point in my life, there are only really 3 things I want to do: is hang out with my wife, be with my kids, and make great music. That's all I really give a fuck about. Anything else is
That's too short.
frosting or too much flour in the mix, you know?
I will echo what Paul said, that you handled that really pretty
Well, I
damn
appreciate
well.
it, you know? But
Yeah.
I will say this, man. He was the bigger person after that, in that interview, where he said he probably handled it wrong.
Because
You
he
know
was the
what I mean?
first to say that.
I don't know, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
I know there was some back and forth for a minute, and I remember saying to myself, "Is like this needs to." I think I was the first one to go. We're done talking about this.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about this anymore because I think we both realize where we're at. You know what
Sure.
I'm saying? And then I think because of that, he went in that interview and said what he did.
Right.
And that made me go, you know what? He's absolutely right. You know?
Sure.
And that's where I came in and was just like, you know, we're both big personalities. We both have very healthy egos, and we both want to fucking rule the rock world.
Sure.
I mean, why not? You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the one thing I was built to do, you know? So it's, you know, once you can appreciate the fact that the other sees where it happened and why, you can let that shit go, man.
Yeah. Well, and hearing you talk about it today, I never realized, probably throughout it, you're sort of seeing, it's like you're arguing with a younger you a little bit, you know, because
well, and not only that, but he's friends with Sid, and according to Sid, he was a massive Slipknot fan. So it's obvious that he knows the stuff that I've said and done. So he knows that I come from a very raw place, dude, you
Yeah.
know? And honestly, in a lot of ways, man, Ohio is no different than Iowa
Right.
in a lot of ways, you know? So our backgrounds are very, very similar. So why am I going to fault him for fucking blowing up? Because I would have done the same thing,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah, and it comes back to the point that just having the ball sack to step up and admit
Yeah.
that you didn't handle something well.
Exactly. And that's, you know, and maybe that's like the biggest lesson that I've learned in the last handful of years is that I'm not always right. You know, I'm not always going to handle something correctly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's never going to end well.
and if I don't prove that you can retrace your steps and be and provide some mea culpa. If I don't put that out there, why would I expect anybody else to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm gonna bitch about the fact that nobody's fucking setting an example for people, what do I expect if I don't fucking try to do it myself? You know, it's that whole manifesting thing, and I hate talking about it because
Yeah.
a lot of that shit makes me cringe like crazy, but it's true. If you don't fucking think about something and then do it, why would you expect it to fucking get done?
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
You're you have a heart out, so I know you have a flight to catch. I
Yeah,
see.
oh, yeah.
I
What
see
time
you
is it
got
now?
some.
Is it
There's some
4?
people lingering, and they look more and more nervous as
Okay.
time
Yeah.
goes.
they're probably
You're not
freaking out.
taking jet suite to Vegas? You
No,
don't take that?
no,
That's the best.
I'm on Southwest, baby.
Yeah,
good
I
for
love
you.
it, man.
I'm cattling with everybody. It's
Dude,
awesome.
It's been a real treat to just do this deep dive into all this.
Oh,
this
dude,
great
yeah,
stuff.
man. We'll fucking do this again. I promise you that.
And we got your solo album.
Right.
This camera died.
Like let's leave that in at the very top when I ask.
Oh,
them,
hell yeah.
Like what?
Oh, yeah.
What are we promoting here? So everybody knows that right out of the gate.
CMF2 comes out September 15th. I go on tour August 25th to October 7th. August 25th is Denver. You can find tickets on sale at thecoretailor.com, like all that good shit.
Cool.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fucking rad.
Yeah,
so.
that was
Hell yeah.
awesome.
We're actually playing the Wiltern here in October. So yeah. If you guys are
Fuck.
fucking around, man, please come down. It's gonna
Wow.
be
I would love
rad.
it.
Yeah, I
love
love
to.
it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, they're banging on the.
right,
yeah,
we're
they
getting
are.
nice now.
Man, thanks so much,
Yeah,
dude.
thank
All good, man.
Oh yeah, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
was awesome.
Thanks, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it. Whoa, this thing isn't loaded, right? Okay.
Yeah. Let me give you my number.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Here, do you have a bathroom?
Yeah, right
Can
there.
I use it real
Yeah,
quick?
please.
Thanks.
How about that? We had a way more like authentic and personal and revealing, intimate conversation with Corey Taylor in person than we did on Zoom. And now we're bros. I'm telling you, I love this guy. I love this guy. And I love MGK too, so I'm glad that they, worked out their thing. And what else can I say? I love you. I love you. I love tight box packing. Life's really good these days, man. Life is really good. And I saw the line cut, just a rough edit of my special taped in London. It looks unbelievable. Isaac, you haven't heard this. I watched it. It's sick. It's unbelievable. So, hey, I love you guys. Thank you. Watch for me at the fights on this Saturday, and get your bobblehead over here. Bobbleheads, dude, at stevo.com. Yes. All right, man. Later, guys.